October 8th, 2010, from the stylish high-tech underground studios of Ribbit Media in blustery Warwick, Rhode Island, this is NewsUndies. For October 8th, 2010, this is NewsUndies, all the news that shouldn't be news. I'm Paul Torville with these headlines. Newsflash: rum, a 19th century naval panacea. Stephen J. Cannell dies, production of Greatest American Hero reboot on indefinite hold. Per prosecutor, Anna Nicole was surrounded by enablers. Also reports Grand Canyon is a big hole. Times Square bomber judge obviously never read the Koran. Fox News skirts sensationalism with headline, Franken to stump for coons in race against non-witch. Cabbage curtailment causes kimchi crisis in Korea. Crikey! Justin Timberlake.
Hey gang, it's time for celebrity birthdays once again. I got my cake hat on, let's rock. For Saturday the 2nd, Groucho Marx, dead, and Rex Reed. For Sunday the 3rd, Gore Vidal and Stevie Ray Vaughan, dead. For Monday the 4th, Roy Blunt Jr. and Liev Schreiber. For Tuesday the 5th, Larry Fine, dead, and Ray Kroc, dead. For Wednesday the 6th, Elizabeth Shue and Jeff Davis. For Thursday the 7th, Oliver North and Kevin Godley. For Friday the 8th, Zog the First, King of Albania, dead, and Rona Barrett. That's celebrity birthdays. I'm Paul Torville, and I'm done!
We'll have stories in detail right after this.
Hi, I'm Paul Torville, the guy behind, in front of, and wearing on his head, NewsUndies. If you enjoy NewsUndies, you can help support NewsUndies by going to the Ursus Pacificus Kitsch Cave and buying some kitsch. There's groovy shirts, awesome dummy head mugs, it only hurts when I care bears, so fuzzy, groovy oval NewsUndies stickers just like this, and yes, it's true, NewsUndies boxer shorts. Aw yeah! Can be found on the Ursus Pacificus Kitsch Cave.
A survey of current Republican congressional candidates shows that 78 of them have admitted favoring an outright ban on abortion with no exceptions, not even for rape or incest. Among them are such luminaries as masturbation-hating witch denier Christine O'Donnell, the aptly named instrument Roy Blunt, and Rand Paul. Plus the full Republican slates from Tennessee, Illinois, Idaho, Ohio, North Carolina, Oregon, West Virginia, Missouri, and Minnesota, and all but one from each of these, California, Georgia, and Indiana, as well as many others. Notice, if you will, that the legal and moral landscape of people killing people outside the womb is one of subtlety, nuance, and context. If person A kills person B, it's hard to know if person A should be charged with a crime without more information. Killing with intent is murder. Murder is bad. Killing without intent is called manslaughter. Morally defensible manslaughter is often called self-defense. This no-exceptions pro-life position necessarily imposes a lifetime of punishment upon the victim of a crime, the perpetrator of which may very well go the rest of his life free of consequences. Imagine, for a moment, being necessarily charged, nay, legally compelled, to lovingly care for a child who every day reminds you of what may very well be the most agonizingly awful assault on your person, psyche, self-worth, and dignity, and the person who brought it to you, in some cases knowing that that person remains uncaught and unpunished. I'm no legal scholar or psychologist, but that sounds like rape all over again to me. England has elected to officially recognize the legitimacy of a new religion. That's not entirely accurate. England has newly recognized a religion, an old religion, from ancient times, in fact. Why, they roamed the English countryside hundreds of years before the dawn of history. I speak, of course, of the Druids. Mind you, no one knows who they were or what they were doing, but supposedly their legacy remains carved, one might even say hewn, into the rock, some call it living, of Stonehenge. JWoww. J.K. Rowling hinted to Oprah Winfrey that there may be another Harry Potter book on the way. So the secret's safe. Really? Seriously? Is Rowling such a one-trick pony that she can't branch out and do a Rebus Hagrid series next? I mean, after all, wasn't Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows not the final Harry Potter book? Do none of the people in the entertainment industry understand the meaning of the word final? The recent rash of gay teen suicides has turned a light on bullying, which has opened the door to discussion of topics which many of us are apparently too fragile to address directly. Here are Pig and Sheep with their thoughts.
Language can be dangerous and hurtful, you blasphemous abominations unto the Lord. Jesus cries every time a F-word's another F-word and an A-word. Don't you know that? It's in the Bible. Look it up. Man! Woo! To make words off limits is to make ideas off limits, and that really isn't all that different from making drugs, porn, or assault weapons off limits. The people who wouldn't use them anyway get to feel like the world doesn't include those things, while the real enthusiasts will not be deterred. What is needed is for us as a species to reject the kind of our complex territoriality at the root of the motivation to use these words in the first place.
Well, that's what Pig and Sheep think. What are your thoughts? Email them to ovcomments@newsundies.com. And now, here's Moose Weintraub with the Sports Half Minute.
Weintraub Sports Half Minute. It's a whole half minute of sports. 30 seconds of sports. Who's Weintraub Sports Half Minute?
Here's your Sports Half Minute. I'm Moose Weintraub. In chess boxing, you not only need to know how to bob and weave, you also need to know how to castle and mate.
Weintraub Sports Half Minute.
Thanks, Moose. Always a great report from Moose. Microsoft is poised to officially announce its Windows Phone 7 smartphone platform and who will be making and selling handsets with the software. The announcement will be made at a press conference on October 11th in New York. According to insiders, the new phone platform will leverage elements that have made the company's Zune media player such an unstoppable juggernaut in its market segment. I'm sure that will help. Given the broad acceptance of Research in Motion's BlackBerry, Apple's iPhone, and Google's Linux-based Android, it seems that Microsoft has an uphill struggle ahead of them. Given the stated focus on media user interface and gaming, I'm sure it'll do just fine as a phone, just like Windows Mobile did. We'll have your exclusive pastcast weather and the final news roundup right after this.
I'm an atheist.
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 I'm an atheist. I'm an atheist.
I'm an atheist.
I'm an atheist.
And now here's your exclusive pastcast weather for the week ending Friday, October 8th, 2010. In the desert southwest, it was sunny and warm. Very unusual. The Pacific Northwest saw rain and wind. Nobody saw that coming. The Pacific Southwest had sunny skies, then scattered thunderstorms. And that's your exclusive pastcast weather. Rick Dirty Sanchez. Suppose you wanted to raise a few $1,000s in a hurry and didn't want to have to pay it back. How would you do it? Well, you could get a second job. That's a popular option. Sell a bunch of your stuff on eBay. That also works. You could sell a kidney on the black market. Or you could do what Carol Schneeface of Roseville, Michigan is alleged to have done. Shave off your kid's hair and eyebrows, spike his applesauce with opiates to make him seem tired, and tell everyone at your church he has leukemia. Fellow church members contributed over $7,000, believing they were helping to cover the boy's medical costs. A member of Schnooface's family, who spoke on condition of anonymity, stated the story seemed plausible right up until Schnooface reported that her son had died and she was not going to have a funeral or service. The child, whose name is being withheld, is okay and currently in foster care. There's no word yet on where a good Christian like Schnooface could have gotten the drugs. Finally, and I do mean finally, we all saw this coming, didn't we? As if U.S. health officials didn't have enough to apologize for the Tuskegee Syphilis study, as it is most generously known. And if you don't know what that is, look it up on Wikipedia. Seriously. Now, a Wellesley College medical historian has uncovered an NIH-funded project in Guatemala which ran from 1946 to 1948. That's the National Institutes of Health, an arm of the federal government of the United States. Since when do they have a covert operations branch? I suppose next you'll tell me the Salvation Army has a covert branch complete with flat black wind instruments. Anyhow, prisoners and mental patients were deliberately infected with syphilis to test the efficacy of penicillin against the disease. By, effectively, you and me. Not since 9/11 have American politicians' thesauri been so exhaustively mined. Shocking, tragic, reprehensible. Yeah. It was bad. Very, very bad. Isn't that good enough? No? It was wrong. It was bad and wrong. There should be a new word. Well, that's all for this edition of News Undies. Remember, News Undies is a weekly show. We'll be back on Friday, October 15th with fresh undies. If you see news that shouldn't be news, email your story tips to undies@newsundies.com. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm Paul Torbill. After that, I might be in line to try out the new Microsoft Phone 7. Yeah. I expect it to be a short line.
Hokey dokey. Get ready for this. Ba-na-na-na-na.
Blah, blah, blah.
For Tuesday the 5th.
Pretty, pretty.